Gamers, not MTash here. We're back with another Wuthering Waves video. We're literally playing Wuthering Waves. Zany, Dami Mommy, the love of my life. They just dropped her kit. This is genuinely, when I say this, the most annoying kit to look at because it just makes no sense. But I'm going to try to make as much sense of it as possible. And before we go into and read everything, I want to break it down right here. She's a main damage dealer who goes off of heavy attack damage with spectral damage amplification and spectral frazzle. She does not apply spectral frazzle herself, but somewhere in her kit, after you do certain functions, it is considered spectral frazzle damage. That way you are able to use that new echo set. So keep that in mind, right? So pretty much with her, you want to do your basic attacks. It says hitting a target recovers Forte gauge, consume Forte gauge to give you an enhanced skill, right? So she has two resonance skills. So Zany restores a Forte gauge when other resonators inflict spectral frazzle. Zany enters an enhanced state upon casting Resonance Liberation, which was that insane, taking the shirt off mode you've seen previously. In the enhanced state, consume Forte to cast basic attacks. You're building up your Forte gauge with normal attack and spectral frazzle. Depending on which state you're in, regardless, you're just going to wind up doing a bunch of normals. High key, that's the basis of it. Also, good morning, boys. So basic attack breakthrough is just spam basic attack, bro. If you do basic attacks at the right time, it'll do better. Standard defense protocol. So she has two resonance skills. You have a resonance skill and then plus a normal attack, and that'll do obviously damage. But then she has like a Tauchi type counter or a Bidu if you played Genshin, right? So hold resonance skill, cast automatically upon being hit, and it will counter. Then we have Resonance Liberation in Inferno mode. That's her Super Saiyan mode where she goes sicko mode. Cast Resonance Liberation when Blaze is lower than 30 or 8 seconds after in Inferno mode. And when not Inferno mode, which I believe is her burst mode, with max redundant energy, unlock targeted action and forcible repost. In Inferno mode, when Blaze is no less than 30, unlock heavy attacks / heavy attacks. Just a bunch of heavy attacks. So I'm going to be honest with you. Selkie, what's going on, brother? Good morning. In game, this will probably be substantially easier. But it's longer than the Declaration of Independence or the PhD to become a doctor. So I'm going to try my hardest to make sense of this. I don't 100% fully grasp everything yet either. But if you look at her basic attacks, it seems a lot of her basic attack strings are going from stage 3. I saw Genizad say this yesterday. It feels a little bit like a PGR character. I don't play PGR, but I think he does, where there's just a bunch of different states here. So, perform 4 consecutive attacks, do spectral damage. After stage 3, press normal attack to do breakthrough. Consume stamina, heavy attack is whatever. After a certain time to perform basic attack stage 3, mid-air attack, dodge counter, all that good stuff, right? So now we're going to resonance skill. As I said, this has 2 versions on it, right? So the first one is attack the target, deal spectral damage, enter a block state. This state ends early if Zany switched off field. Press normal attack within a certain time to perform basic attack stage 3, recovering 10 points of redundant energy and stagnating the target on hit. Now, the stagnation on hit is kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. And the 10 energy, that's her Forte. And they show you both versions of the skill here, right? So that is the first version of the skill. That is the Restless Watch. When you hold resonance skill, and then after a certain amount of time, you hit that attack, right? When attacked on the enemy in the block stance, reduce the instance damage by 100% and stagnate, as we've said, dealing spectral damage and additionally reducing their vibration strength by 5%. The damage taken by Zany is reduced by 30% for the next 2 seconds, so she's low-key over here tanking. Then this is the counter. So if you look here, that's the counter. This is the counter. So this is this portion. Crisis Response Protocol. When Zany is not in Inferno mode, so when she's not in her Malvika mode, and has full redundant energy, her Resonance skill is replaced with Resonance Skill Response Protocol. Her Resonance skill can enter Ready Stance. While in Ready Stance, Zany is immune to interruption. The state ends early if Zany is switched off this field. After releasing Resonance skill button or when the stance duration ends, consume all redundant energy to cause targeted action, dealing spectral damage, which is also considered as spectral frazzle. So this is where you can get the spectral frazzle thing to pop off for you. When attacked by the enemy in ready stance, reduce the instance of damage by 100% and consume all redundant energy to cast Forcible Riposte, dealing spectral damage, considered spectral frazzle damage, stagnating the target and further reducing the vibration strength by 5%. Damage taken by Zany reduced by 30. Casting targeted action or Forcible Riposte sends Zany into Sunburst mode and inflicts a stacks of Helical Ember upon the target. The last stage of the attack recovers Blaze. Sunburst, as you see right here, is spectral frazzle damage by Zany to the target is amplified by 20%. Pretty much the way I'm reading this is get your Forte gauge, you get the counter, that's going to give you the spectral frazzle type damage. You don't have the Forte gauge fully, you just do your fucking resonance skill, you hit a basic attack, and then you do that. And the full Forte gauge, this is what happens. That's how I'm interpreting this. Please tell me if I'm wrong. But again, I feel like it's going to be a lot easier once we actually get in-game, but Reson's Liberation, so this isn't even the wordy part. This is the most normal one. Rekindle. Deal spectral damage and enter Inferno mode, increasing max blaze from 100 to 150 and granting 50 blaze. So you actually get 50 points of her Forte circuit just by going into her burst. When in Inferno mode, the multiplier of basic attack is increased. And when in Inferno mode, Resonance Liberation Last Stand becomes available when Blaze is lower than 30. So she has like her burst, but then when her Blaze, her Forte circuit is lower than 30, she goes Super Duper Saiyan. So there's Super Saiyan and Super Duper Saiyan, right? Casting Resonance Liberation deals spectral damage and ends Inferno mode. So I assume you just cast your Res Lib one more time. And then Forte circuit. This is where, again, the Declaration of Independence comes in. It's ridiculous. There'll be a light where Zany and the team and a nearby party member, Resonator, I said party member, inflicts spectral frazzle upon a target, immediately consume all spectral frazzle stacks and trigger the corresponding damage, then convert spectral frazzle into equal number of Helial Embers. Every time the conversion happens, Zany obtains Blaze based on the stacks of Helical Ember inflicted. Bro, what the hell? Helial is capped at 60 stacks, with each stack lasting 6 seconds. Helial Ember stacks are counted towards the Spectral Frazzle stacks for the Eternal Raiden Sonata effect. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. There's a lot yapping. Just convert the Spectral Frazzle, man. You can hold up to 60 of them. That's all it is, bro. Scorching Light. When Zany's in Inferno mode and she does any of these normal attacks, become available, which deals spectral damage. That's considered both heavy attack damage and spectral frazzle. So again, you're going to be able to pop off with her spectral frazzle and use that new set just by being in the Scorching Light mode. Well, let me rephrase that, Inferno mode. So just by using her ult, right? So you don't have to worry about getting that extra crit rate. You're going to be valid. Also, It's and Lloyd, what's good, boys? And PP, what's going on, homie? We're going to go into team comps in a moment. When Blaze is no less than 30, Resonance Skill Standard Defense is replaced with Scorching Light. Hold Resonance Skill to enter stance during Zany's immune to interruption. The state would early switch off the field. We already know what that is. When attacked at a certain time after stance, reduce the instance. We know this already. We've went over that. That's her counter. It just seems like a lot, but it's really not that much. After casting Heavy Slash, Light Smash, basic attack is replaced with Heavy Slash, Nightfall, consuming up to 40 blaze on hit, which each blaze increasing the damage multiplier. So you can go from stage 1 to stage 2. Upon releasing the button after a certain time or when ready stance ends, immediately perform Heavy Slash, Nightfall. When blaze is no less than 30, basic attack is replaced with Heavy Slash, Daybreak. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It's just fucking do normal attacks with her Forte. That's it. This is all this is saying, man. She has 2 Forte bars. She has 100 redundant energy. You can get this with normal attacks, intro skills, resonance skills, whatever. Her Blaze is capped at 100 when not in Inferno, but when in Inferno mode, it's up to 150, and I think it said it gives you 40 or 50 for just casting Inferno mode. Casting targeted action or forcible riposte grants 10 blaze. Every stack of Helial Ember converted from Spectral Frazzle grants 5 blaze. So 1 stack of Spectral Frazzle equals 5 blaze. Casting Resonance Liberation grants 50 blaze. That was a lot of fucking mumbo jumbo. I'm going to be honest with you. That was a lot of shit. Someone just said, I don't know if I want to pull her anymore, and I get it, man. I get it. It's a lot. I think she's going to be fine in game, but it's just that it's a lot of shit, right? So her intro skill, she attacks, deals spectral damage, nothing crazy. She hits you with a Jay-Z, get that dirt off your shoulder type shit. Outro skill is attack the target, dealing spectral damage equal to 150% of Zany's attack, and removing all stacks of helical ember, I don't know how you pronounce that, inflicted upon the target. Each stack increases the damage dealt by 10%. The damage is considered spectral frazzle damage. The spectral damage dealt by other resonators in the team to the target, marked by helical amplified by 20% for 20 seconds. So, Living, good morning, brother. Welcome in. Pretty much she's doing a big nuke damage, and then after that, you're able to swap off to your sub DPS and do even more damage for 20 seconds. So, we'll get into team comps in a moment. Inherent skill is casting intro. Skill gives you a spectral bonus by 12. And when in ready stance, all damage is reduced by an additional 40%. So overall, she seems really fucking annoying. Like really fucking stressful to figure out. And she's probably going to be a little weird to learn in game at first because she has her burst. Her burst then has an additional state. She has 2 versions of her resonance skill. She has to consume stacks from Spectral Frazzle, although I think that's going to be automatic. It definitely seems overwhelming, but I also think it will be easy to do in-game. Now, her weapon is fucking broken. I'm going to be honest with you. If you are going for Zany, you probably want to look into getting this fucking weapon. I think this weapon's insane. If you don't have this weapon, you can run Roshia's weapon, since that gives heavy attack damage. But this is 48.6 crit damage stat stick, and we're looking at what this says is increases attack by 12%. Casting basic attack grants the following effects. Dealing damage ignores 8% of the target's defense, and it amplifies spectral frazzle damage by 50% for 6 seconds. Re-triggering the effect resets the duration. God damn, that is kind of crazy, brother. I am not going to lie to you. Yeah, I don't even think that Roshia's weapon comes even close, to be honest with you. I'm going to pull it up real quick. But I think at the end of the day, if you really want to make this character work, you're probably looking at getting Phoebe to get the most out of the Spectral Frazzle, as well as getting this weapon. Because god fucking damn, that's insane. We're looking at this. Roshi is a 24.3, increases attack by 12%. Every basic attack or intro skills cast heavy attack damage by 48%. So if you did get Roshia's weapon, which I might actually buy now, this is actually not that bad. I didn't think it was as close. So, not that bad. P, what's good, DZ? How you feeling, brother? So, yeah, if you have this, I think you're good. You really don't need to roll this. But if you really want to, that is a massive spectral frazzle damage buff, though. I'm not going to lie to you. That's a pretty big buff. Also, Kazahana, good morning, brother. So, yeah, I mean, overall, at the end of the day, I think in terms of team compositions, it is going to be Zani. I truly believe Spectra Rover will be fine. And then you're looking at Shorekeeper. But the best in slot would be Zani, Phoebe, Shorekeeper. Is there a world where maybe you can run Zani, main DPS, P main DPS because of that outro and rejuvenating glow Spectra Rover? Possibly. I don't know per se. Obviously, we're gonna have to do testing, but at the end of the day, man, yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah, overall, very interesting. I will say, I will implore them. I mean this genuinely, for the love of fucking God. Stop making these so annoying to read. Like, please, just stop making this so annoying to read, because it's fucking just tiring, bro. It's just tiring. With that being said, I love you boys. I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.